Welcome back to Healing Her Shadows, where we hold space for the deep, often painful work of healing from abuse and narcissistic environments. I'm your host, Big Princess, and today we are diving into one of the most challenging and misunderstood aspects of healing: forgiveness. When you've been hurt deeply, especially by the people who were supposed to protect and love you, being told to just forgive and move on can feel like a slap in the face. How do you forgive a parent who made you feel unworthy? A partner who manipulated and controlled you? And what about forgiving yourself for the choices you made when you were just trying to survive? Forgiveness isn't about excusing harmful behavior or letting someone come back into your life. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of resentment. It's about reclaiming your peace. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. So you already know the drill. Get your pancakes. Pancakes, you guys hear me. Get your pancakes, get your popcorn, get your wine, get your coffee, get your fruit, get your pen and your pad, kick your feet up, or if you're driving, you know what to do. Let's get ready. All right, so let's clear up any misconception about forgiveness right away. Y'all, I'm still cracking up about your pancakes because y'all know I'm Caribbean, so sometimes I be breaking my accent to do this, and it's the pancakes for me. Anyway, biggest misconception about forgiveness is that forgiveness is not forgetting. You are not required to erase the pain or pretend it didn't happen. Just because you are forgiving doesn't mean that you have to pretend that they didn't do what they did and go back. Okay, that's not what we're saying. The second thing is forgiveness is not about absolving someone of responsibility. They are still accountable for their actions. They are very much so still wrong for what the fuck they did. So even if they apologized, that does not mean that you absolve what they did and just erase it. There is no sweeping it underneath the rug. So I know you're like, well, fine, if that's not it, what is forgiveness then? What exactly is forgiveness? I'm glad you asked. Forgiveness is choosing to release the emotional grip that resentment and anger have on you. See, forgiveness is like taking off a backpack, if you will. You don't want to be the bag lady. Forgiveness is about reclaiming your emotional energy and taking back control of your healing. It's not about saying, okay, you know what? You did do this to me, but it's okay. I forgive you. I let you back in my life. Forgiveness is I realize you did this. It hurt me. I take back the control that you had in my life to even be allowed to hurt me. And I'm going to move on. Forgiveness is saying, I no longer allow what happened to define me or dictate my future. You don't forgive them for them. You forgive them for you. I know we hear that a lot, but it really is the accuracy of the situation. It's an internal process that allows you to move forward without the weight of bitterness. Now, if forgiveness was easy, we'd all be doing this and we wouldn't be having this conversation. But it's hard, especially when the pain runs deep. And let's talk about why. The first thing I want to address is betrayal of trust. Now, when you've been hurt by somebody close to you, a parent, a partner, a family member, it shatters your sense of safety and trust with them. Forgiveness feels impossible because it's tied to that deep betrayal. It's like, how could you, of all people, do this to you? Gonna do this to me? To me? And that ties into the fear of vulnerability. Now, when you get betrayed, it's a deep sense of I was vulnerable with this person and they broke me. Holding on to anger and resentment can feel like a shield in those situations. It basically gives you a sense of control. If I stay angry, I won't get hurt again. If I stay angry, that motherfucker won't play with me because I'm going to teach you not to play with me. I'm not to be played with. But at the same time, forgiveness feels risky because it requires you to be emotionally open and to experience emotional openness. Now, the third thing that we can oftentimes definitely expect to deal with is loss of identity. Sometimes our pain becomes a part of who we are. We may have been cheated on in every relationship we've been in, or maybe our partners have always done the same thing. Within that, we're always going to look at the world like everybody cheating. The dating pool is the trash bin. It's all garbage. But you can't expect for that to become different for you if you continuously allow it to be a part of your reality. Letting go of resentment can sometimes feel like we're losing a part of ourselves because it's all that we know. Especially if our pain literally shapes how we view the world. But in the same breath, we have to be careful that we do not allow for the world to change who we are and how we view people. One bad apple can spoil the bunch, but also it's all about what you're allowing into your space. Light attracts both moth and butterflies. The fourth thing we're going to address is lack of justice. Now, if the person who hurt you never apologized or took responsibility for what the fuck they did, forgiveness can feel like you letting them off the hook. But again, remember, my good people, forgiveness is not about them. It's about your freedom. It's not about absolving their treacherous deceivery or their betrayal. Now, forgiving someone who hurt you isn't a one-time decision. It's a process. And here's how we can start, because I know you guys are wondering, what exactly can we do then? And the first thing is acknowledge the pain. You can't heal yourself when you refuse to feel. Allow yourself to sit with the pain. I know that shit hurts. I know you're thinking, that shit hurt when they did it. Why the fuck do I want to think about it? But here's the thing. Without minimizing or justifying the other person's behavior, you have to sit and really just think about everything that was done. Write it down if that helps. For example, my mother made me feel unworthy of love. And that pain lingered for a very long time because I kept trying to figure out, why doesn't she love me? Why can't I be loved? The second thing you'll need to do right now is release the need for an apology. You may never get that closure that you're hoping for. A lot of times these narcissists don't give a fuck about apologies once they get to a state of time and being in their lives where they start to heal. They're not worried about apologizing. They're honestly still trying to take care of themselves because they too have trauma that they have not gotten over. The person who hurt you may never acknowledge what they did or even feel remorse for that case to be real. Forgiveness happens when you accept the fact that you can heal without their apology. You cannot allow them to control the situation. Yes, they did something to you out of your control, but everything outside of what they did is not within your control. Forgiveness can happen again. And you can heal without their apology. You don't even have to talk to them. This is a you thing. This is a us thing, not a them. The third thing that I'm going to need for you to do is set emotional boundaries. Forgiving someone, again, does not mean giving them access to you. You can say, I forgive you, but I can't fuck with you. Say it with me. I forgive you, but I can't fuck with you. For example, I forgive my exes for how they treated me, but I'm not going to engage with them. Ain't no spinning the block. I'm not foolish. Once bitten, twice shy. You learn your lesson. You don't allow for anger to sit on you, so you become miserable and constantly bitter. You keep moving forward. Confirmation, y'all. Y'all know I got businesses and things going on. Damn, they're in the background going off. Okay, I think we should be good now. The fourth thing we need to speak about is changing the narrative. Instead of defining yourself by what happened, shift the story. The old narrative could have been, I'm broken because of what they did to me. All my exes cheated on me. The new narrative, I'm strong. I survived what these fuck niggas did to me. I no longer give a fuck about what people think. I look in the mirror and I love me regardless of what anyone wants or desires. I can give 2 fucks in a bucket if someone doesn't want me because I want me. And the fifth thing will be is to let go of the outcome. Forgiveness doesn't guarantee that the relationship will be repaired. And oftentimes I don't think we even really want repairing a relationship with a narcissist. They sabotaged it. Forgiveness again is for you, and that's okay. Your healing isn't dependent on someone else's response whatsoever at all. Now, sometimes the hardest person to forgive is ourselves. Maybe you feel guilty for staying too long in a toxic relationship, for missing red flags, or for how you coped with pain, how you allowed for someone to treat you. It's okay. We've all been there. Here's how to start forgiving yourself. Acknowledge that you were doing your best. You survived the only way that you knew how. Holding yourself to the standards of someone who wasn't wounded is unfair. You were hurt. It's okay. Separate regret from shame. Regret says, I wish I made a different choice. Shame says, I'm a bad person because I did it. You are not defined by your past choices, beloved. You are defined by how you grow from them. It's not about the fall, it's about how you get up. Always remember that. Now, the next thing I want you to do is write yourself a forgiveness letter. Sit down and write a letter to yourself as if you were writing to a close friend. I know I'm always giving you guys homework, but guess what? Interactive class time, okay? This isn't just a podcast for you to sit and listen to. We're really doing spiritual work here. We're really getting our shit together because we can't stay in a broke mindset. And I don't say broke to meaning money. I mean broke mindset in the sense of being healed, being spiritually fulfilled. We can't bring in the greatness if we're not spiritually healed from shit. So, in this letter, I want you to acknowledge the mistakes that you've made, offer yourself compassion, state your intentions about releasing your guilt, and then ball that motherfucker up and burn it. Let it go into the ethers. The fourth thing that we need to do is commit to self-compassion. When old guilt or self-criticism creeps in, consciously replace it with kindness. Instead of saying, I was so stupid for staying, say, I was hurting and I did the best I could. Instead of saying, I hate the fact that I love so hard, say, I have a wonderful heart and I have to take time to protect it. Now we're going to do some exercises to help you work through your forgiveness. The first exercise is going to be called the release ritual. You know I love a good ritual, visualization, and letting some shit go. Get out that pen and pad, your big handy dandy notebook, and write down the hurt or resentment you're carrying towards someone or yourself. Write everything down. Now what I want you to do is either burn that bitch or tear it up. And while you're doing that, say out loud, I release this shit. It no longer has power over me. I no longer give a fuck about this situation because it does not have power or control over me. My path is not indicative of what the fuck happened. Kick rocks. The second thing I want you to do is called the compassion reflection. I want you to close your eyes. I know I'm always telling you to close your eyes like you're going to sleep, but listen, just follow the rules, okay? We're here now. Do the work. Close your eyes and picture the person who hurt you or yourself as a child. Imagine them experiencing pain, confusion, or fear. See them with compassion, not to excuse their actions, but to release the hold on you. Imagine them enduring what you have endured. And see to it that you give them compassion, but again, not to excuse them, but to release the hold that it has on you. Forgiveness is not a single moment. It's not going to be an easy linear process. I'm going off today, you guys, honestly. Whew. It's a series of choices to release pain and choose peace. So you don't have to get it right all at once. You just got to keep showing up for yourself. Remember, forgiving someone doesn't mean what happened was okay. It means you're no longer allowing it to define your life. I want to thank you guys for spending this time with me today. If this episode helped you, please feel free to share it with someone who needs it. And don't forget to subscribe to Healing Her Shadows so you never miss an episode. You know we be getting to it, friend. Next week, we're talking about navigating relationships while healing. So we're going to address how to protect your peace while building meaningful connections and how to also protect others' peace so that you don't be the people who hurt you. Until then, be gentle with yourself. You're doing the work, and that's enough. Remember, it's not about perfectionism. It's about progress, beloved. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I love you, and peace.